Good afternoon, coaches. This is Coach Anthony Williams, founder and CEO of Connected Athletics. We are a new startup company based in Austin, Texas, where we are creating a platform to connect student athletes with other student athletes, to connect student athletes with college coaches during the recruiting process, and more importantly, technology to help student athletes transition successfully from high school to college and then into a career either in pro football or into a career based on their major. We've got another exciting class of 21 prospect with us from the quarterback at King High School, which has got brand new, tremendous facilities there. I've hosted many events there. He's 6', 190, has a great GPA of 4.6. He's got an SAT score of 1220 and an ACT score of 20. He was honorable mention all district. Cameron.
Is everything good? How are you?
Good. Hey, thanks for joining us on the show. Want to jump right into it here, and obviously the first thing that pops off the screen is that GPA was 4.6. Tell us about the importance you put on your academics.
So just growing up with my dad, academics has always been first, and even to this day, academics is still first. You know, class comes first. For one, just especially now with recruiting, you know, being able to get those grades, it checks out a box for college coaches and makes it easier for them to recruit you.
So obviously with that 4.6, you're obviously taking some AP classes and probably dual credit. Give us a little more insight into that.
Yes, sir. I'm a dual credit student. I have my high school classes and I go to San Jacinto Community College, and I take 3 classes over there,
Wow.
half of the day, and 3 classes at the high school.
Wow. So do you have an idea of how much college credit you'll have by the time you graduate from CE King next year?
Yes, sir. When I graduate, I'll have 60 college credits, which is the same as an associate's degree.
That's impressive, man. I mean, that is awesome. Real quick, do you have a favorite subject? Are you a math guy, science, English, what?
Math and science. This year, my 2 favorite were physics and calculus, and then especially with quarantine going on, I kind of had to teach calculus myself, and I ended up with an 85. So kind of proud of that.
Wow. Okay, man, that is impressive. We're going to come back to your academics here in a little bit. Obviously we're starting to reopen from COVID-19. Tell us a little about your season.
So really, I mean, ever since COVID started, gyms were closing, but luckily, my gym is a kind of more of a personal gym, so I was able to still get in work with my trainer, still be able to do things with my dad, and then also I have a weight rack at my house, so lifting weights every day, just trying to do something to get better.
Yeah. Well, now you as a quarterback, still getting your throws is important. Have you been working out? Do you have a quarterback trainer that you work with, or you been getting throws in?
Yes, sir. And then also my receivers, still being able to have that timing and everything.
Okay. Well, that's good. Let's jump into your huddle video in case any coaches haven't seen it. I'd like to have you commentate for a minute or two in it and just kind of talk to us about who you're playing, what you're thinking, and some of the great plays you're making. Okay, let me switch over to that screen. All right, now you get to be Tony Romo and just do a little play-by-play for us.
Yes, sir.
There we go.
So Magnolia West, grade 5A school. I seen our slot guy Jeremy. He had the better position on a post route, hit him over the top. This play, Bowman Westbrook, I got out fast, and then towards the end, I kind of ran out of gas a little bit, but that's what we're working on. This play, pocket was breaking down, stepped up, and able to deliver ball over the middle to one of our receivers. Next play, we had a double route concept, and mainly just eyeing the safety and putting the ball in the window right before we get there. This play was a 4th down. I knew we needed a 1st down. While the pressure was coming, I saw open lane and tried to get the 1st down, and I was able to pick it up. Magnolia West again. It was a 3rd, about 15. Threw a comeback, also while getting hit. Bowman Westbrook again. We had a matchup that we liked. Hit the fade route. Another run when line of scrimmage broke down, able to make a play and still get the 1st down on the 3rd down. This is against Clearbrook. Good double move by one of our receivers, Jeremy, and I was able to hit him over the top for a touchdown. This is a fourth down in our playoff game against Umbu. I was able to roll out and hit Bryson for a touchdown to make it 14 to 21. This play was a little quick speed out that I was able to get to my receiver, Eric. This is a play to Bryson Washington. It was on third down to I fit it right over the linebacker to get it to him. And then another curl play to our receiver, Jeremy, got yards after the catch. This play right here was the game winner against Magnolia West. And I threw it over top to our receiver, Reggie, and he scored it.
We'll stop it right there. It's a lot of good stuff there. Kameron, a couple of things that I noticed that I see in a lot of young quarterbacks, you keep your eyes up down the field to make plays, and you have really good pocket presence. A couple of times you climbed the pocket, built some time, and you rolled out, and you throw the ball really good to run. Talk to us about your understanding of pocket presence as a quarterback.
Well, as a quarterback, you taught to always keep your eyes downfield, always looking for an open receiver, and if not, then you take the opportunity to run. But mainly, if my first option is to throw, I'm a quarterback. My objective is to get the receivers the ball when they need it to make plays, and that's why I'm gonna do that to the best of my ability until I can't do it no more.
And obviously, another part of your game that shines is the fact that when you do have to pull the ball down and run, you can make plays with your feet. You look a lot like Lamar Jackson. Is there a comparison there? How much focus do you put on your run game?
This offseason, I'm putting a big emphasis on it. I'm building more speed, being able to, when I get out, I'm gone. I don't want people catching me. So I put a big emphasis on that this year, and I know it's going to come into play this next season. So
okay.
Yes, sir.
So let's talk about that. So we've talked a little bit now, but from your perspective, give us some of your strengths and weaknesses that you're going to work on for this upcoming senior season.
So strengths, I know I have the arm strength to make any throw. When I need to run, I can always get that first down, or if I have to score the touchdown. I know the windows that I can fit balls into. I know I'm good at telling with our receivers the different matchups that I like and things like that, and things that weaknesses I'm working on. Like I said, speed, being able to get out, getting better, becoming a more student of the game, different coverages and all that, things like that.
Well, that's one thing I wanted to talk to you about is being a student of the game. Do you do a lot of film study? Do you read a lot of coverages? How much do you work with your O-line on blocking schemes? Give us a little bit of insight on that.
So usually like during the season, or even before the season started, we go through all plays and being up and they'll say, okay, linemen will tell us we're going to slide this way on certain pass plays to make sure if we got a blitz coming inside that they can pick that up and I can find a window to throw, things like that. And then also just myself going through old games. Like now I go through old games and see different coverages that they were going through just because most teams are going to run probably the same coverages and incorporate different things when the season, but having that, a little knowledge of what they're going to throw at me next year. So
what is your confidence level in being able to audible within the CE King offense? Do you have that green light going into your senior year?
Yes, sir. Got like I said, I'm right now I'm the head of the offense. I got to lead 10 other guys to the same goal.
Okay, I like it. All right. Well, obviously, there's a lot of good quarterbacks in the class 21. Tell these coaches who are watching this how you differentiate yourself over all the other quarterbacks in your class.
For me, of course, all the quarterbacks that make all the throws, but for me, I feel like you need that guy when it comes down to the game time, or you need a guy, okay, well, we're down. You need a leader to come and step up. I'm that guy. You need somebody who's going to always work. I'm that guy. I'm always willing to work. I'll do anything. And, you can ask anybody that I work with. I'm always give you 100%. So that's the kind of guy I am.
Okay. You listed right now at 6'190". You looked a little bigger than that in your highlight video. What is your current height and weight, and do you have another growth spurt coming up?
So right now I'm 6 foot, but now actually during the season I was 170. So over the offseason I put on 20 pounds. I'm 190 right now.
Okay. And I don't know, could give us a little insight about your family, your mom, your dad, and brothers, or anybody. Do you see a late growth spurt? Is there some height coming in your way, or you think you're done?
Uh, I hope so. I hope I, get a couple more inches. I hope, but if not, I'm cool where I'm at right now. And
Okay.
I've been working with it for the past 2 years, so I'm fine with it.
Okay. Well, segue. Let's talk about your family. I know you mentioned your dad works out with you and whatnot, and your mom. Tell us a little bit about your family. Are you the only child? You're the baby? Are you the oldest? With the dynamics.
So I'm the baby, but I also have a sister. She's younger than me. She's my stepsister, but she's family. So
Mhm.
I don't give her that title of stepsister. She's my
Right.
sister. We're in the
Right.
same grade though. But my dad, he works in IT administration. Uh, my mom, she does healthcare. So just and then my aunt lives with us. But
Mhm.
that's who all in the house with me. But I got family, all over the United States. People,
Okay.
you know, that I call cousins, that I call uncles,
Right.
aunts, things like that.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit about recruiting. Who are you hearing from? Who do you want to hear from? And what's been your recruiting experience so far?
So I've been hearing from the Merchant Marine Academy in Kings Point, New York, Oberlin College, Amherst, University of Rochester, Rose-Hulman, Missouri S&T, schools like that. Schools that I want to come towards me, well, to pursue me. You know, my dream school is kind of the naval. It is the Naval Academy. Um, I've also been talking with the Air Force, but schools like that, I like high academic schools. Who also provide me with the opportunity to play football.
Okay. I mean, obviously, Cameron, with your GPA, I mean, I would assume that military academies, as you mentioned. What about Ivy League? Are you hearing from any of the Ivy League schools?
Oh yes, I've talked to Yale. I've talked to Harvard, Brown. Yes, sir.
Okay, that's a good deal. Okay. College coaches are going to want to know about your relationship with high school coaches. Tell us a little bit about your relationship with your position coach and your head coach.
So, well, this year I'm getting a new position coach. So, but even if our first phone call it went well, he was telling me about him. I was able to tell him about me. And with me, like I'm a guy, I can we can talk one time, and then after that, it's like we got a relationship. So that's how it is. When I meet somebody new, my head coach, over the years, every year has gotten stronger. As a freshman, you're kind of scared. It's the host, head coach, especially being a freshman, playing on freshman. But then as you grow up, get bigger, you realize, hey, he's trying to do right by you, trying to, build that relationship so he know where you're at and you know where he's at. So I feel me and my head coach, Coach Fitch, we're on good terms for sure.
Yeah, I know Coach Fitz personally. His son and my son were the first two recruits in the 2008 Texas class. So you've got a good head coach there for sure. Tell
Sir.
me, Cameron, have you been at CE King all 4 years?
Yes, sir.
So, people don't know the history of the school with the flooding and the facilities being flooded out and now the new facilities. Tell us a little bit about what you've seen over 4 years and how that school has changed so much.
So, of course, my freshman year going to Seeking, you don't expect a hurricane to come through, but it did. But seeing the way our community came together and was able to, we got money, and then Deion Sanders and Michael Strahan was able, they put in money. We was able to get sponsored by Under Armour. We get the Texans donated us a new turf. We still, and then a bond was passed for us to get a new school, and they went all out. I wouldn't want to be in a better place to see it.
Yeah, I was there back in February for the Rivals event, and I was blown away when Coach Fitz gave me a tour. I mean, I was at the school before the hurricane and afterwards, and I mean, you guys have tremendous facilities. It's a great gift for you as your senior year and all the work you guys have put in.
Right.
Let's talk a little bit about, you know, who's going to help you make your decision on when you commit sometime next year.
Mainly my parents. For one, of course, they watched me play football my whole life, and go through life. So, I know a big thing is going to be kind of staying close to home, but I know that they want what's best for me. So they're also going to help me with, if I do have to go far, it's going to be a school that is going to benefit me on, in 40 years, not just all making a decision just for right now.
Okay, I like it. We talked about your academics earlier. Do you have an idea what you want to major in when you get to college?
Yes, sir. Well, I want to be a mechanical engineer, but my dream job is to be an aviator or a pilot.
Okay.
So,
Military, or does it matter? Or for a commercial?
yeah, military.
Okay. I like it. And then, so I would say you always like to ask the question, what is your life going to look like once football is over, whenever that is? Is that what it's going to be? You flying planes, or what?
Yes, sir. That's the plan.
Okay. I like it. Do you have you had flight training now as a young guy? You a pilot now, certified, or no?
No, sir. But well, with COVID going on, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get any flight training over the summer. But that's what I was trying to do. But if anything opens up, I'm gonna try to get into it.
Okay. Tell me somebody or some people outside of your family who have had a positive influence in your life.
So the first one I'd have to say it'd be my trainer. I met him back in December. Paul Boyer Jr. The first couple months, I was coming in. I thought, oh, I know what I'm doing. All this, but he's able to change. Help me change my mindset about you know going on through high school, finishing my senior year and going off strong and always giving 100%. So big shout out to him. But I mean, just everybody. To be specific. I have aunts and uncles outside of my family, but that I call that when I needed money, they sent it to me because I may have needed something to help me with training and things like that. So
Mhm.
those are the people I definitely want to give a shout out to.
Is there anybody at the school, a teacher, a counselor, an advisor, a tutor that's helped you maintain your high GPA that you want to shout out?
Yes, sir. My all my avid teachers, because it's a college preparation class, so that teaches me how to take notes and things like that. And then also my physics teacher, Mr. Hurst. He's more than just a teacher. He's always, anytime I need to go to him for something, he always there for me. So shout out to Mr. Hurst too.
Okay.
Hey Cameron, is it true that all the American football players play with each other's willies in the changing rooms?
Say that one more time.
Yeah, I don't know who that was.
Do
But,
all the American football players fiddle with each other's willies in the changing rooms?
Oh no,
hold on a
no,
second. Yeah,
we
that's
don't do
not
that.
that's not me,
Oh,
Cameron. Never mind about that. I got him out of there.
I mean,
So,
I
hey,
wanted to join. That's the whole reason why I wanted to join. I wanted to fiddle with men's willies in the changing room.
yeah. Thanks a lot, Elliot. We'll get you out of here.
Anthony, would you like to fiddle with my willie?
Yeah. Hold on there,
Oi,
Cameron.
oi, Anthony, go on, mate. What's your snap?
I got him out. I got rid of him. That was weird. That happens a lot on Zoom. So, hey, real quick, I wanted to go back to we mentioned earlier, kind of the Lamar Jackson comparison I mentioned, but who do you resemble your game in college or pro that you're like, yeah, that's the guy I want to be like as a quarterback?
I got two. One Jalen Hurts and then two Randall Cunningham. Those are my two. Just one Jalen Hurts. The adversity he faced, and then also being able to bounce back from it. And still, yeah, he switched teams, but still being able to be that productive player on the offensive side of the ball. And then Randall Cunningham, I've always admired his game. He for as tall as he was, he moved like a ballerina. He was quick, agile, things like that. Also able to throw the ball. So
So yeah, that's an old school reference. I got to give it to your dad on this one. I mean, a lot of people don't know about Randall Cunningham and how athletic he was. The Randall, the Lamar Jackson back in the day. Have you seen film of him, or just from your dad's experience in watching him? Because he was a great player.
Oh no, I watch highlights of him all the time. So
Okay. And then, tell me about, your game going forward. You're an athlete. Have you played other positions, or have you been a quarterback since you first started playing the game?
Um, you know, especially when you're younger, you test out positions. I played receiver, I played DB, linebacker, running back, but I feel like ultimately my best position is quarterback. So, and that's what I've been playing for the past, 10 years. So,
Okay. Well, tell me, being a successful football player means you have to overcome adversity. Give us an example in your life, either personally or dealing with football, where you had to overcome some type of adversity.
so sixth grade, my dad he was diagnosed with tonsil cancer, and for me, me and my sister, we had to take care of him. It was things that I had to I had to sacrifice, but also he sacrificed. He was sacrificing his own sake to help me get better. So then I had to realize, I gotta sacrifice time to, help him and things like that. So being in, once he recovered, we were going full at it, but I was able to, overcome not many kids can deal with parents that go through sicknesses like that. And he always told me to be strong, and I was able to, and we all got through it together.
Okay, excellent. Tell me, when did you start playing football, and when did you fall in love with football?
I started playing football at the age of 6, right down the road in Sheldon Football League, and I can say I truly fell in love with it. The first year I came to HAFL, which is Humble Area Football League, and that's where I met the quarterback at North Shore, Demetrius Davis, and a bunch of other players around this area. And that was my first year in a real competitive league, and I fell in love with it.
Okay. When did you know, hey, football is going to help pay for my college education? When was that moment? What year was that?
I say it started in middle school because I knew my potential. I knew where I could get if I really put the work in. And even now, I feel like I still haven't tapped, the top of my potential. I feel like, the sky's the limit for me.
Okay. Let's get to know you personally, away from football, away from working out. What are some of your interests? Do you like to hunt, fish, get out in the water, in the lake? What do you do in your spare time?
I love video games.
Okay.
Big video game. And that's because of my brothers. Ever since I was young, we had a game station, always playing it.
So are you a Madden guy? Are you a 2K guy? Are you one of the Call of Duty guys? What are you playing?
Madden, 2K, Call of Duty, yeah, games like that. Sometimes, I used to play Fortnite, but I don't play that no more. That got too much fun. But those 3 main games I play.
Okay. And then what about apps? We're killing time with COVID-19, staying inside, being safe. I mean, are you a TikTok guy, Twitter, Instagram, Snap? What are some of your favorite phone apps?
My top 3: TikTok, Snapchat, and Twitter.
Okay. And then as we're starting to reopen from COVID-19 and getting outside, back hanging out with our friends and maybe your girlfriend, what's your shoe game looking like? Are you a big shoe guy or no?
Yes, sir. Ever since 5th grade, I kind of got into shoes, and every year, kind of just looking for the next best thing to get. So.
Okay. And then tell me about music. Who are some of your favorite artists? Who do you listen to in pregame? Who do you listen to when you work out getting hyped?
Lil Baby, that's my favorite rapper. NBA YoungBoy, Lil Uzi Vert. Those are my top 3 that I listen to almost all the time. Almost all of my playlists.
Okay. Switching gears here, let's talk about, tell me a little bit about what you do to give back to your community. Are you involved with your church? Are you involved with Boys and Girls Club? What are you doing to give back?
So I'm in an organization called Top Teams of America. And, from almost every month, we have we either go with senior citizens and we help them. Like sometimes, like one day we did it's kind of like a prom for them. They get to dress up in a certain color, wear what they want to wear, and we get to serve them food. We do block cleanups every 2 months, things like that, always helping out the community.
I like it. Okay. Tell me a little about, you're in the class 21. Are there other players on your team or that you faced that you feel college coaches should be taking a look at this year?
Yes, sir. So on my team, Jordan Jackson, 6'1", 6'2" receiver. Anything you throw his way, he gonna catch it. And I got him to come to my trainer, so he's working out with me. Got another one, Zakiel Grant. Big offensive tackle. I think he's about 6'5", 6'6". He got that weight. I feel like he can go against any D lineman in the country. That's just my opinion. Will Levin's defensive side of the ball, one of the best pass rushers I've seen. That's not out there like that. So those are a couple of my teammates. Outside of my class, I can't really say. Those that go to my school, I can say.
Okay, nothing wrong with that. I appreciate you shouting them out. Tell us, obviously, the great GPA, the great academics. What type of learning style are you most comfortable with? Are you a verbal learner, visual, or physical?
I'm more of a physical. I'm a hands-on learner. You can talk to me about it, and I'll listen. I'll be like, okay. But if I get my hands on something, then I'm able to learn it and grasp it much better.
Okay. You're going into your senior year at the leadership position of quarterback. Tell us how you define leadership, and then how do you plan on leading your team this fall?
I feel like leadership is being able to get you. Well, I'm putting it in terms of without football.
Mm-hmm.
Being a leader is being able to deal with being uncomfortable and being in uncomfortable situations, and being able to put that aside and being able to put you second, put others before you. And then for this year, I've been trying to get all my guys to come up, at least once or twice a week, just to all come together, so we all can see each other, especially during this time. Being able to see each other, let's get some routes in. Hey, let's play defense on some of our guys, just being able to kind of get back in, kind of like a spring, but without pads, just being able to be with each other.
Mm-hmm. What's one thing you know now that you wish you knew as a freshman to help out some of your other underclassmen?
Um, just work, you know. It's gonna be time for to do. It's gonna be time for video games. It's gonna be time to watch TV. It's gonna be time to go eat a bunch of junk food. It's gonna be time for that. But when it's time to go work, it's time to go work. So just put the work in.
Well, obviously, with you, given your background with the 4.6 GPA and dual credit and AP, time management must be top of your list. Tell these players and these coaches out here how you manage your time and still be successful as a student athlete.
So I can't say this without saying his name, but my dad is a big time guy. He's always, if he doesn't help me with my schedule, sometimes like when I was younger, he'd make my schedule for me, and I would always be on that. But now that I'm at an age, he's telling me, okay, set this time out, to do this, or take 2 hours to do that. Being able to put a time limit on things. If I don't finish it, that's okay. Go to the next thing, and then in your free time, if you do finish it, I'll go back to it.
Okay. Simple question here. Why do you think your game translates to the college level?
I think my game translates to the college level because I'm 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 bringing things that I feel other players don't bring, and I also feel like you can go look at my film and you'll say, okay, yeah, he's making all those throws, but I feel like you don't see, and of course they don't, but you don't see the work that was put into that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You don't see. You may think some people may think going out and playing quarterback is an easy position, but in reality, it's not. So with me being a quarterback, I'm able to work on my game, when people don't see it, and also the things that colleges are looking for, I know I provide for them. But you know, it
Well, let me ask you a different way. With you being a quarterback so long, Kameron, they say in football, a quarterback gets too much credit when the team wins and too much blame when they lose. How do you manage those highs and lows as a quarterback in high school?
me, I'm my toughest critic. That's I promise you. My coach won't be harder on me than I will. I'm always trying to work on myself, always trying to work on my game. So if it's a loss, I put it on me. If I win, I know I'm a part of it, but I know it took more. It was more than just me that got that.
Okay. Tell me as we finish up here, talk to me about why you love to compete. There are those that like playing the game, and then those who just.
So competing, it brings out a different side of you. When you're able to compete against somebody, you got to dig within yourself and say, okay, I want to make sure, that I want to be the best at what I'm doing. I want to make sure that I'm always getting better. I'm able to do what I got to do. So just being able to compete, just it builds that fire of you wanting to win. And, especially if you get 30 guys who can have that mentality, it builds a winning mentality for the whole team, not just an individual.
Okay. Well, as we finish up here, I told you before, I want to finish it with an elevator pitch. In 30 seconds, tell these coaches why they should recruit Kameron Kincheon.
College coaches, y'all should recruit me because I'm a one-of-a-kind kid. I got the attitude, I got the grades, I have the athleticism. Anything you need me to do, I can do on the football field. But like I say, whatever you need me to do, I can make all the throws, I can run, I'm that vocal leader that you need in the locker room. You know, I'm gonna talk to everybody. I'm gonna talk to the worst player. I'm gonna talk to the weakest player on the team, and I'm gonna talk to players who feel that they're at the top. I'm gonna treat everybody the same. Because we all got the end goal, and that's just to win.
Appreciate it, man. Well, Cameron, I look forward to watching you play this fall. Continue to be safe, and if you need anything, please reach out to me and let me know. And tell the family I said hello.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Be blessed. Have a great day.
All right, you too.